Now let's see. So in a create table itself, we have mentioned all the constraints here like default, check, primary key and all. So if you miss some constraints there, if you want to alter something from your table, okay, so you can use the command called the alter. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to add the primary key to my address ID. So it's the ID, right? So it should be the non-null and the unique one. So I'm going to add the primary key for that. Okay, so for that, what you have to use the command called alter table and table name, and you have to add your constraints there. Okay, so let me show you how to do that. So alter table, address. Okay, then you are going to add the constraint. Okay, so add. Okay, first let's try add underscore int. Okay, varchar of 10, and then you can provide primary key. This is one way. Okay, or else what you can do is you can add a constraint here using the keyword constraint. Okay, add constraint, and then you have to use the name for the constraint, and you have to use, for example, pk. It's a name for your constraint. Okay, and then you can add your constraint like primary key of add underscore id. Okay, this is another way. Okay, you can do it in the both ways. Now let's run this query. Invalid use of null value. 1 minute. Where I have used null values here. Okay, so here I have inserted the null value, right? So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to delete that. Okay, so what I can do is delete from address. From where you are going to delete? Where city equal to Hyderabad. Okay, end it with semicolon. Now control enter. You're using safe update mode. You try to update a table without a where. I have used where condition here. Okay. Let me go to preferences and SQL editor. So uncheck this one. Click OK. And then go to view, query, reconnect to server. Okay. Where city is equal to Hyderabad. Okay, now let me run this query. So query has been executed. Now let me select all the values from the address. Then start from address, semicolon, control enter. So here you can see the city Hyderabad has been deleted. Okay, so here we are having all the unique values or no null values. So now we can alter our query. So now I'm going to run this, control enter. So now our primary key has been added there in our address one. Okay, so if you want to use the foreign key, what you have to do is you have to have your reference ID is there, right? It should be a non-null and unique values. Okay, it should be a primary key. Then only you can use that column in another table as the foreign key. Okay, so now I'll run this again. Create table student. So now you can see that our create table student has been successfully executed. Are you able to understand this now? How to use the foreign key?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you want to insert the values for your student table, what you can do? I want to insert the records in the student table. Okay, so we can use the keyword insert into student. So here I don't have any default value, right? Roll number, primary key, name not null, age, mark 1, mark 2, mark 3, and class and address ID. Okay, so I don't have any default values. Okay, so I'm going to add values for all the columns there. So then values, okay, roll number, it is the integer format, right? So 101. And then name, right? John. Okay, wait. First, let me select the student. Select star from student. Okay. Control enter. So here you can see you don't inserted any values there. Okay, you don't haven't inserted any values there, so it is showing null. So now let me add it. Okay. Then next we are having age there. So age is an integer, right? So I can add some 12. And then marks there. For marks out of 100, 98, 97, 95. And then after marks, we are having class. Class is an integer. So if his age is 12 means just put 6. Okay. And then address ID. Your address ID should be from your address. Okay. So it should be either 1001, 2, 3, or 4. Okay. So it is in the varchar. So A1002. And close the bracket and add comma. So let me copy this. Control C and then Control V, comma Control V, Control V. So here I'm going to add 102 and then 103 and then 104. And Sean has been changed to max and let the age be same here. And then as for marks, 85, 98, 33, 95. And the address, let me change it to A1003. So here, let me change it to 1. Here, let me change it to 4. And change some name here. David. Let me change the age to 13. Here, let me change the age to 13. Marks 55. 28. Okay, and I'm adding the semicolon here. Now let me run this code. So check constraint.
Ma'am, last name is same as first.
No,
Sure.
that's not a issue here. Your name can be the
Repeated.
same. Yeah, but it should not be a null value. So here it asked us to check the constraint. Why? Our age is should be
not
greater than 12,
12.
right? So here I have given 12, right? So it is showing error. So let me change it to 14. Where and all I'm having 12. Let me change it to 14. So now, and this line, so our values have been inserted. Now use the select query. So here you have added all the values here. Okay. Now what you have to do is after this session, I want you to try to insert a null value for your roll number. Okay. And when you are providing the name, give the null values. Okay. While providing roll number, repeat the value 103 again. And for the name, give the null values. And age we have checked here.
Yeah.
And then as for the foreign key, address ID. So I have already 4 address ID, right? 1004. Try to give the address ID as K1005. Okay, and check what is happening in your data. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. So now I am having mark here, right? Mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. So I'm having the marks here. So what I want is I want to add a new column to my table, like a total. Okay, I want to add a new column to my table like total. Okay. So for that, you can use the alter table, alter query. Your alter queries comes under the data definition language. If you're going to do some changes to the structure of your table, you will be using the query called alter. Okay. So I'm going to add a column called total. ALTR, alter. Then in from which table I'm going to add that table? Which table?
Student.
Student. Okay. Student. Student. And I use the keyword add and I use the keyword column. Then give the column name total. And then what I have to do?
Semicolon.
Don't I need to give the type of the data there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So total will be integer.
Okay, very good. So next semicolon and then
Size.
run this. Yeah, size we don't need the size for int. Okay, just because our integer will take the values from minus 2 lakh or 2 million something to plus 2 lakh or 2 million something values. Okay, like some 10 digits value starting with 2. Okay, so for total we don't need to give that. If you're going to use the phone number, you can change it to int 2 or int 4, int 8. You just change the values and try to enter the values.
Okay.
Okay, so use the int data type and try to enter the 10-digit value starting with 9. Okay, so use the int 2 and start the values with 10-digit 9. Likewise, you can work on that and you can find out that. So we have altered the table. Now let me again use the select query there. So control enter. So here you can see that our total is null. Okay. So now what I have to do is I have to add the mark 1, mark 2 and mark 3 and it should be inserted into the total. Okay, how I can do is this. If you want to modify something from your table, okay. So if you want to modify something from your table, I mean, your records inserted into your table, right? You want to modify something inserted in your table, you can use the query called update. It comes under the data manipulation language. Okay. So 1 minute. Okay. So for that, you have to use the query called update. Okay. Update. Okay, let me show you the syntax first. What you have to do is update. In the previous one, we have used table and then table name, right? In the update query, what you have to do is you have to directly give the table name and you have to use the keyword called set. Okay. And then what you want to change there, that thing you have to provide after the set value.
Set.
Okay. And then you have to give the condition where you want to change it. Okay. So let me show you one example first. What I want to do is I want to change the class of David. Okay. So I can give update student. Okay.
Set.
Set. You want to change the class, right? So
Yes.
class
Class.
equal to Q7. Okay. Where you want to change? You want to change the, you can use name, but we are having the primary key value, roll number, right? So it will be unique one. So you can use that. Okay. Where roll number equal to 103. Okay, and then you just run this code and then now use the select query again. Now you can see that it has been changed. Okay. So in the update query, what we have done is we have given the condition here. So according to the condition, the value has been changed to the certain row. Okay. But in total, what we are going to do is we are going to change the value for all the rows. Okay. So for that, what you have to do is go to update student set total. Okay, equal to, use the bracket, mark 1
Plus mark.
plus mark 2 plus mark 3.
Mark 3.
Okay. So here we are not going to use any condition there. So after you have downloaded your MySQL, what you have to do is go to edit options and go to preferences. Okay. There go to SQL editor, scroll it down, just uncheck this box. Safe update is there, right? Uncheck this box. Okay. So after you uncheck that, you can use this query.
Okay.
Okay. Just because that thing will not work if you don't use any restrictions like where conditions and that. Okay. If you don't give where condition, it will apply this set command to all the rows. Now let me run this code. Okay, it has been successfully executed. Now I'm going to select it. Now you can see.
Yes.
Okay. Our total has been changed here. Are you able to understand this? Do you have any doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now according to the total, can we add something called grade? Can we do that? By checking condition.
Okay.
Is it possible? Yeah. How can we do that?
Alter.
In Python and all, how will we do the condition checking? If I want to check the total and assign grade for the student, how can I check the condition?
Boolean. Like if.
If. Okay. So for this total, tell me the if condition.
Mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3.
Mark 1
total
plus
is equals to mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3.
So after calculating the total, I want to set the grade. Like if it is above 280, the grade is A. If it is above 250, the grade is B. Likewise, I want to check. If you are using the Python, how will you do that?
Else if else condition.
Okay. So if else condition, you will be using that. So in your SQL, you can use the same thing. The little bit changes is there. Select star. Okay. So afterwards, okay, what you have to do is you have to use the keyword case. Okay, using this keyword case, we can check the condition. Case, okay, when total greater than 290. Okay, then you can give the message here.
Grade plus A.
Grade A. Okay,
Yeah.
and then again, when total greater than 280. Sorry, okay, here let it put 280. Here 250 and
total less than 280.
very good.
Then
Sorry,
3.
1 minute.
Your 280 will throw an error because it will not know where you are going. If somebody has scored through 80,
Okay, is equals to.
Sorry, sir.
if somebody has scored 280, then what will happen?
Equals
Okay,
to
so
100.
we have to use equal to. Okay, then grade B.
B.
Okay, and then when total
Less
greater than 230
and less
and
than or equal to 250.
250, then grade C. Okay, and when
Total less
total
than
less than equal to 230, then fail. Okay, so after this you have to end it. Okay, so you have to use the keyword end. Okay, and when you're printing it,
then spelling in the
okay,
last line.
when you're printing it, you can have some alias like a nickname for this thing. When it is printing grade A, grade B, grade C and all, you can have the nickname for that thing. So use the keyword is as, and then you can give some name for this. Okay, for example, grade. Okay, then you can use from table name student. Okay, so it is showing error here. Come on.
Then in 26, yeah.
Then. Okay. So
Okay.
now let me run this code. Here we can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, it has added. So you can use the as keyword to give alias for that. Not only here, you can use it anywhere. When you are using the select query, you can use as. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So now let's move on to our next one. So I have showed you the delete one, select, update, insert. I have shown you everything here from here. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, yes.
Data like alter is for data definition language. update comes
Yeah.
under data manipulation language.
Yeah.
Then
Your
data control language.
data control language we'll be discussing in the next classes. Okay, that will be comes under some transaction thing like commit, like that it will come. So I have to discuss some concepts there. Afterwards, I can explain you the data control language.
Okay.
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 And your select command will be comes under data query language. Okay. Now we are going to check using the select query. Okay, we are having select query for if you want to view all the columns, you can use select star. Okay, you can use select star. Star denotes all the columns from the table. If you want to view some certain columns like name, age, gender, you can provide the column name here. Okay, and then if you want to view the unique values of the certain column, like we are having age here, right? Age 14, 13. Now I want to view only the unique column of age. So what I can do is select distinct. You have to use the keyword distinct, and then you have to provide the column name there, age from student. Okay, now when I run this code, it will show you only the unique values. It will not show you any duplicate values. Okay, so that thing you can do. And then you can use the select column using the where condition. Like select name, comma, class from student. Okay, from student where, and then you have to provide your condition there. Here what condition I need is total greater than equal to 280. Okay, so that is John. John is the only one who scored above 280. And if you want to let me change it to 250. Okay, and if you want to check two conditions, and age equal to 14 semicolon and underscore. So it is John and Max. Okay, are you able to understand where condition here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me run this code again. There are any unique values here. Okay. So if you want to select some values like using address ID. Okay, so let me show you. Select start from student where address ID. Okay, you want to choose some multiple values from that certain column. Okay, for that you can use in, and inside the bracket you can give A001, comma A1002. Okay, comma A1003, and give everything in the quotation. Okay, just because these are all varchar values, so give everything in a quotation and then give comma. So what it will do is it will check the address ID from the student table, and it will check for all these values, and then it will fetch the data there. Okay. So now you can see it had fetched the data 1001, 002, 003. Okay, you are in and not in. If I provide not in here, So what it will happen is it will exclude these values and the other values will be fetched from here. Control enter. Okay. So instead of these values, it has fetched A1004. Okay, are you able to understand in and not in? Any doubts?
No.
Okay, fine. So next thing is, so you'll be able to understand and or not operator. In this example, I have shown you and. So if I have put or here, and then it will show you either the age should be 14 or the total should be greater than equal to 250. So this is how your and or operator will works. And then we are having the order by, which will be helpful to which will be useful to sorted our table. Okay, select star from table, sorry, student, okay, then order by total. Now when I run this query, it will order by total, ascending to descending order. If you want it as descending to ascending order, you can use the keyword DASC after total. So when you run this, it will come in the sorted manner of descending to ascending order. Okay, this is how your order by works. Okay, and then you can even use the group by command. Select star from student, group by age. Okay, now control enter. Okay, fine. I have provided star here, so it has chosen some 2 values by age. Okay, so it just put age here. Then it will give the age. Okay, are you able to understand this? If you give star here, what will happen
Yes,
is, if you give star here, what will happen is if it is 14, the first value of the 14, first row of the 14 will be taken. And if it is 13, the first row of the 13 will be taken. It will show all the columns of it. Okay. So you can, if you produce them like columns here, column name here, so it will show the only the column. Okay. And then you can use some aggregate functions here, like minimum, maximum. Then select minimum of total from student. Now run this query. It will give you the minimum of total. Okay, you can give the alias here as minimum underscore total. Okay, so then it will change the name here. So what will happen if you don't give as? What will happen? Will it work? So let's run this and check it. Okay, even if you don't use the keyword as, it will work. Okay. Okay. So likewise, you can use the max of total. It will give the maximum value, and you can use the sum. If you are going to add the values in the certain column, like I want to add all the total values, I want to add all the mock one. That time you can use the sum here. Okay, sum. Now run this code. So it will add the sum. If you want to find out the average, you can use the keyword AVG, average. Okay. So are you able to understand all these aggregate functions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then you can even count the values. You can use the keyword count. Okay, so it will count the values and it will show it to you. Do you have any doubts here? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So Spandana, are you ready to show your Python code, which I have given you yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm done with first 3.
You're done with first 3. Okay, fine. So let's complete it. It will take some 10 minutes. Afterwards, I'll check you there. Okay. So, okay. So if you want to select some top values, like in pandas, you'll be using some head, right? Head and tail. Do you remember that in pandas?
Yes.
Like data frame dot head, data frame dot tail, data frame dot head will choose some first top 5 values, and tail will choose some top last
Bottom 5.
bottom 5 values, right? So likewise, even you can use the command in database, that is select star from student. You have to use the keyword limit and you have to give the number 3. So in student, we are having 4 values, right? It will fetch the first 3 values. Okay. So if you give 2, it will fetch first 2 values. Even in your pandas head also, you can provide the values inside the head function, right? You can pass the parameter, right? If you want to view the top 10 values, you can give 10 inside the head, right? So likewise, in limit, you can give the values there, so it will fetch the top values. Okay.
Okay.
Then, okay. Then, to find the values with the specified pattern. Okay. So is there some specified pattern? What you can do is you can use the keyword like there. Okay. Here, what is happening here is inside the inside the quotation, you have to give the patterns here. If I want the words which started with the J, I have to give J and then I have to give the percentage symbol. Okay. And if I want the words which ends in J, I have to give the percentage symbol first and then I have to give the J there. If I want some words in between, some letters in between some of the words, I have to give the letters inside the 2% symbol. Okay. So let me show you. Here as a text file, we are having only John here, right? Sorry, name only we are having it as a text file. So let me first show you there. Select name from student where name like. Okay, don't forget to use the quotation here, quotation J and then percentage symbol, and end the quotation and end it with semicolon, control enter. So it is giving us the John. Okay, so let me run this code here. So I can have all the name here. So now I wanted it, the name which contains A. Okay, so which means A should be in the middle of the, or the word it contains A. I wanted it to work. Now I run this. So it is giving Max and David. Okay. So likewise for this thing, you are having many patterns there. So you'll be using hyphen, hyphen. Okay. So you'll be using like J, and then if you're having hyphen means it should have some 2 characters. Likewise. Okay. So you're having many patterns there. You just search through that. You will be able to see this. Okay, and we are having in and not in operator. We have done with that. And okay, then we are having between. So select total from student where total between 270 and 290. Okay, so it will choose the ranges 270 to 290. For that, we'll be using the between and the and comment there. So let's run this query and it shows 290. So let's change this to 250 here. Then run the query. So it will show all the values which is between 250 and 290. Are you able to understand all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in next class, we will be discussing about the joins. Okay, joins and subqueries. We'll be discussing about the about that in the next class. So it will be on Tuesday. Okay. So we cannot
Okay.
complete it within 2 hours like that. So Tuesday at 6 o'clock, we will be having that.